Hello, hello everyone. Thanks for joining tonight. Tonight I am going to show you guys how to paint this cute little pumpkin, Halloween cupcake, cupcake, I cannot talk. Halloween cupcake. It does have a little pumpkin on it, cute little spider and some Halloween sprinkles. And I'm going to show you my fun method for making like a frosting look. It's really fun and cute, so I'm hoping we'll love that. It's something I don't believe I've shown you guys before. I have shown you puff paint, but I have not shown you the rest. So while everybody's popping in, I'll go ahead and just tell you what colors of paint I'm using. Hopefully my dogs will behave. They haven't been being too good, so if we need to move them, we will. Stop. Okay, so I've got black and white here. Of course, always have our black and white. I've got the metallic silver. I've got rain gray. I've got, for purples, we've got the GP purple and the pansy purple. Greens, we're going to use, of course, Gecko, my go-to for lime green for Halloween time. Hey, Mel, how are you, honey? And Linda. Electric lime for the other green. And then for our oranges, these have been like starting to become my favorites. Cantaloupe and pumpkin for those. And then we're going to be using, of course, well, we may not use Mod Podge tonight, but we will probably use the medium float just to do a little bit of shading, since you guys have been really liking that. You love my house? I have been loving it. Like, just a little bit over a week. If you don't count today, we're going to be closing next week on Tuesday. So I'm so excited. Hi, Johnny. How are you, sweetheart? So once again, here's our cute little cupcake, our Halloween cupcake. I think this is officially the first Halloween I have painted for you all, at least for the templates so far. So I'm super excited to show those with you guys. So let me flip you down. And I did remember to fix my screen this time. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. And we're going to be using glitter snow. But that's how my secret ingredient to make frosting. It turns out really, really cute. So I'll show you guys how I make that. So first of all, let's get our base coat of... I knew we were going to do this. Hold on, guys. Let me put them in the garage. So sorry, 1 second. Come on, come on, come on, come on, Kendall, come on, come on, Kendall, running, come on, thank you, go Kendall, thank you. I am so sorry, guys. We've had a lot of people doing work and everything, and so they are just freaking out like crazy. Oh, and I didn't put my face cam on. There I am. Hi, everybody. So sorry about that. Hi, Rhea. I think I said hi, but I can't remember. I know the dogs were being crazy. Okay, so I'm going to put my base coat down. Trying to decide which color of purple I want to do. I think I'm going to go with the darker purple for our frosting. So let me get one of my little paint trays here. And this one, we don't need a good coverage because we're going to be putting the frosting over it. We just need coverage, if that makes sense. I haven't been loving that brush lately. I'm going to be using a 5/8 angle brush. These are those Royal Kid brushes that you can pick up at Walmart. They have become kind of my favorite. So I'm just going to, I just loaded my brush. I'm hitting right around the angle here. So we've kind of got some dollops of frosting kind of going on our cute little pumpkin here. All right. Mel, I'm so excited you joined me. I haven't seen much of you, sweetie. How's things going? How is life? We need to chit chat. We used to chat all the time. I miss you like crazy, girl. Hi, Sherry. How are you, hon? Okay, you guys, my wrists are kind of hurting a little bit today. I've been trying to catch up on all my signs that I drew. So I've been painting like a crazy woman lately. So if your wrists are hurting, if you pick up your sign and kind of angle it up for your wrist, sometimes that helps instead of trying to angle your wrist down. So now just kind of smoothing out our paint here, just getting some coverage. Like I said, I'm not going to worry too much about 2 coats this time with the purple, just because we're just kind of going for coverage right now. This is going to be a base because then we're going to add the frosting on top. All right, I am going to get these edges real quick here. I did just get a boo-boo on that pumpkin, but I'm not going to worry about it because for the most part our detail line will cover that up. Other side over here. My angle just a little bit there. Not enough to scream baby wipe yet. Okay, so we've got that nice and covered here. And then I'm going to do a purple line right here. Because this is going to be black, I am not even going, oh, Linda, you're not late, sweetie. And hey, Dawn. I am not going to worry about staying inside the lines, okay? Because we're going to be painting black, I'm not going to worry about it. So this is going to look a little bit sloppy, but when we get the black on it, we'll clean it right up, okay? No worry in being all nice when you're going to have a black over it. I've learned just paint it and not have to worry so much about all the crazy of it, okay? All right, so I've got that. We got just a little bit of paint pullage there. Okay, so purple is almost done. We're going to just throw a little bit of the pansy here on our plate, and I'm going to grab just a little bit of this GP purple, throw that on my plate as well, and we're going to do like a cute little shading right here, just to give it a little bit more texture. When are we moving? We are moving this week, or well, this next week. So just FYI for you guys, next Monday I will do paint class for you guys, but I will not be doing, actually I'll be doing Cricut this week, so I won't be doing anything like that. But August 2nd, I probably will not be painting for you guys. I don't know if I'll have the studio up by then. So we close on Tuesday for the new house. I'm so excited. And I ordered a bunch of fun stuff. Just hoping for it to come in. I ordered some new shelves and stuff like that for the new studio. I'm so excited. Okay, so now medium float here. Mesh order is going to be the death of you. Oh, girl, I'm sorry. So this is just that medium float. It's kind of like water. It makes your paint just a little bit more pliable and smooth to use. I'm going to just grab a little bit more of the dark purple at the end of my brush here. There we go. So I've got the nice GP purple, the lighter purple on the top, and then I went with the darker purple at the bottom. And then all I'm gonna do is just nicely run right across our line here. We're just kind of giving that stripe a little bit more extra bazoom. Voila, whatever we want to call it. Okay. So you can see that kind of right there. We're gonna leave that alone. All right, next color we're gonna go with is our pumpkin. Ooh, get my paint tray here. Pumpkin is going to be this middle one. And then once again, because this is all black, we're just gonna paint over it. So where the spider web is, we're gonna just keep on going, okay? Just cleaning out my brushes. Oh, her husband's graduation, how cool is that? That's a great accomplishment. Okay, so this is pumpkin orange that we're going with next. So I've just loaded my brush and kind of pulling through. I did get a little bit extra dollop of paint here, so I'm just going to smooth that out. Going this way. And like I said, we're gonna do black spider web and black spider. So I'm just gonna paint over it because black really goes over anything and it just makes it a little bit easier for us to paint. So you guys, yesterday we ordered our fridge. It's supposed to get delivered the next day after we close. So on Wednesday next week, I'm so excited for everything. I seriously am just can't believe I finally get to get in our house. It feels like forever, but I know it was so short and they did such an amazing job on getting us in so fast. But y'all, my patience is going. Oh, Johnny, I'm so glad I can be your calm mode for today. Girl, you can come watch me paint any day. Okay, so I just hit the corner with this. This one is going to need a second coat, so I'm gonna just throw it in there. Johnny, we're sending you lots of prayers and lots of love, sweetheart. And those of you, just keep on praying for our sweet Johnny. We love her so much. Guys, I'm being silly. I forgot my purple stripe below here, so I'll hurry and do that. Let this dry just a little bit longer. And then, like I said, this is going to be black, so we're just going to go straight over this. Not really worrying too much about going over the lines here. Okay. Just smoothing that up. Okay, so I'm going to hit one more time with the orange. Okay. Got a little bit of overage there. All right, so now I'm just gonna hit with just a little bit of orange here, of our pumpkin orange. And this stripe, let me hit just one quick little thing there. Oop. Ooh, we really went over. I had too much on my brush. Thank goodness we got this all with black, right? Okay, throw that in there. Get purple out of our way. Now we're gonna use some cantaloupe. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And the paint bottle is like deciding it wants to be very messy. Okay. Grab which brush we want here. Cleaning my brush real quick, guys. Sorry about that. And this one is a 1/4 angle. Just getting a little bit of the median, working it into my brush. I'm gonna hit the top with the lighter orange, the bottom with the darker orange, kind of go back and forth just a little bit. And then we're gonna hit this pumpkin, or this frosting right here. Make it look, ooh, so delicious. All right. Are you guys cupcakes or pumpkin or cake fans? Just a question. I can tell you right now, I'm a nothing but bundt cake fan. If you guys love those, ooh, they're so good. I have been craving those. I might be getting a belated birthday cake for myself. Okay, so we got that orange on there and on the stripe. Linda, it has been storming here all day too. It finally calmed down. I was worried there for a little bit that it was gonna be, we might be having a lot of booms during this, but it's doing okay right now. So we're gonna just keep on trucking along. All right, for this, you guys, I am going to just paint over this. Metallic, usually, I'm gonna do the metallic for the stars and purple dots. So because we're doing a lot of paint for the dots, I'm thinking it will just overcover. So I'm just gonna go straight in with the green. I don't know why I'm doing the lime green. I'm gonna do electric lime first. And so let me just throw some here in our paint tray. Probably is good enough. Make sure we got this nice and clean. And then the big brush I've been using tonight, y'all, is that 5/8 angle brush. Okay, here's some green. Girls, they're upstairs in the loft. If you guys can hear them, I'm so sorry. It sounds like they're playing a video game. They have been loving Minecraft lately. Any of your grandkids or kids into Minecraft? Just getting the angle nice and smooth here. Now this green can be a little splotchy, so we'll go ahead and do a second coat with this one as well. Okay. All right, right here again. Nice and smooth. Trying to get that cleaned up there. Doing this light second coat is kind of working here. So maybe we won't need to use that heat gun after all. Save you guys your eardrums. All right. Let me get this angle right here, this edge. Guys, I just realized I never painted that pumpkin up at the top. Whoopsie. I'll have to pull out the orange. I knew something looked wrong. All right. Okay, I'm gonna just do this nice green stripe here. We are almost out of green, but what I'm gonna do is just put the green right here. Since we're gonna use the gecko with it. Here we go. This nice edge. Okay. And then I'm gonna get the stem of this pumpkin. So when I'm doing just this little tiny spot, I'm just using the point of my angle brush, okay? Now if you're not feeling like you can get control with that, go ahead and go down a size, and I would probably go to like a liner or a very small flat brush. Okay. Bright colors. I wanted like bright Halloween this time. Because you know, when you get those Halloween cupcakes, they're so bright and beautiful. All right, so we got the stem there. Okay, so this green right here in this stripe, man. There we go. Okay. So, get that in there. Let's get the gecko next. Just gonna throw this down on my plate here, just a little bit of green. All right. I'm gonna go with that 1/4 angle brush again. Whoops, I dropped my paint towel. Okay, so I'm just getting my brush with the median here. Hope you can see that. Okay, so we're doing the gecko, the lighter green on top, darker green on the bottom, going back and forth, kind of getting a nice good blend going. Since I'm right here, we'll just hurry and hit this. Okay, right there. And then right here, we'll just go for it. So my green's not wanting to show up as much as what I wanted it to. It's giving it to us now. There we go. You guys see that on camera? A little bit. I'll bring it up in person and then you can really see it. Just a little bit there. Here we go. I'm not liking the top so much, so we're gonna still kind of keep working like that. There we go. That looks much better. Can you guys see that pretty green? Kind of shades it nice and pretty. Kind of gives that nice fluffy dimension. Hey, Susan. Yes, you can see it. Okay, good. Yay! All right, I am just gonna take a little bit of this lime green, or the gecko green, and we're gonna just throw it up here on this stem, just to kind of give it a little more pop, okay? And I know I forgot the orange, so let's go back. I guess I'll just use the orange actually that's on my tray here, but let me grab my towel. I did not want to pull a fall out of my seat moment. Came kind of close there. All right, I'm gonna flip this around just a little bit. And then the mouth is also going to be black, so we're not gonna worry about it. And we will just paint this whole thing all orange. I might actually need to go get more orange here. All right, so I'm just getting this nice little angle here, getting that in. We are going to have to get some. I'm just going to grab right out of the lid. When I'm doing small little projects, most of the time I won't pour into my cup anymore. I just use my lid. And then if the paint gets all gunked up, you just peel it out. You grab the side here. Ooh, I'm touching green. Good thing I didn't mess it up. All right. So just smoothing this side out. Okay. Throwing the heat gun on. Susan and Donna, are we stalking each other? Oh, you guys crack me up. I miss you guys. I can't wait for the retreat. Who else has come to the retreat? All right. Susan, I'm glad you're feeling better, girl. All right, orange is done. However, I am going to throw just a little bit of some shading in here, just to give it that dimension that I was talking about. With shading with pumpkins, it really does. When is the retreat? It is October. Oh, y'all help me out. Trying to think. Like October 20th, right? All right, you guys, I'm just gonna get right here. Just do a nice little flip here. It's gonna give a nice little plump to it. And I think I'm just gonna add a really light shading so my brush is barely touching, just right here where the frosting is. Okay, nothing too crazy. But can you see how that just gave that pumpkin a little bit more movement. Thank you. October 22nd through the 24th. Thank you all so much. Okay, now for the fun. Let's do some metallic silver. This one, you guys, I am just going to use my lid for. And we are going to use the liner brush or the detail brush. You'll hear me call it either one. What we're going to do is just do these stars. So I'm just kind of outlining them right now. And then we're just fill in. This is going to give just a cute little sparkle. I was kind of apprehensive to do the metallic, but then I pulled out when I was messing with some of our baking stuff and putting some of our necessities back in different boxes where I could fit things. I found some Halloween sprinkles and they had cute little silver stars. So then I was like, I gotta do it. I'm gonna do it today. We're gonna do the metallic-y silver stars. All right. Now there is a trick with metallic paint, and you do need to paint in different directions with it a little bit. Otherwise, you can see brush strokes when you look in different directions, or it will almost look like it's not painted. So if you're having that problem, kind of switch it up a little bit on which way your brush is going, and that helps too. Also, lay down a little bit thicker amount of paint. That helps as well. So don't get it too super thin. You kind of want it a little bit thicker. Oh, I needed you guys today. I kind of was in a moody funk. I think all this rain's kind of put me in a funk. And doing Itsy Lick Stings. Ooh, I got myself far behind. I listed a ton of new Halloween designs, and the apple that we did last week, I listed that. Anyways, y'all know listing is not my favorite thing in the world. I'm an angel. Sure. You're my favorite kind of angel, I guess. The ones that are playful, fun. Not always so serious. Alright. How many of y'all are sick of watching me paint stars? Alright, so here's another one. Alright. One more to go after this one. Alright. So when I'm doing these, I'm just kind of mimicking the lines, but where the point is, I'm starting there and pulling back to the center. That's going to help with giving you a little bit more solid points when you're painting, okay? All right, so our stars are officially done. Woohoo! You have 4 items to list. I know, I am the worst. I get like a bunch of them and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then you'll see like list after list after list of me like, hey, I actually did my job today and decided to post things. All right, for the dots, you guys, I'm just gonna also use the top of my cap here. I'm gonna get one of my biggest paintbrush bottoms and we're gonna use that. Okay, so we're gonna just put cute little dots here. Okay. All right, there's this one. Thanks, babe. And one more here. Okay. You're behind too? I'm glad I'm not the only one that gets so far behind in doing the listings and you're like, oh man. It's like an all-day event to just do that. Oh, it's misery. It's total misery, I feel like. Okay, now debating. I think we're gonna go with the puff paint so that will dry. Yeah. Actually, no, because my hand's gonna be right in that if I do that. So we're gonna go ahead and go with black. Sorry, process of elimination, how to paint. What's gonna less likely get your hands caught in it and mess things up? Okay, so we're getting some black here. I'm not going to dilute this down for right now. I will dilute it down a little bit later, but for right now, we're gonna just kind of keep it as it is. That brush is probably a little too big. We'll go with this guy. Now for the black, I will switch up my brushes. You know I hate to do that, but we'll get what we can here and then go in. So right here, I'm gonna do a little bit thinner of a brush, but right here, we'll go in with a little bit thicker of a brush so we can get some coverage. Whoops. Hello. No, thank you. All right, so just smooth this out like so. Sorry if we blew your eardrums out with that ring. All right, now right here, I'm just gonna take my brush and kind of go right around this curve here. And I kind of loaded the angle of it a little bit more. Then right here, we're gonna do the same thing. I got a little bit of drag towards the end of my brush. Drag is when your paintbrush is just running out of a little of paint. So it makes that kind of mark, that sketchy kind of mark like this. That's what it kind of makes. And that just lets you know, hey, it is time to reload. All right, we'll smooth this guy out. Same thing here. There we go. Okay. got just a little bit extra paint right here that I want to smooth out on this edge. There we go. And then we can get this little corner right here. See, nobody knows that we went over the lines with painting now. See, nobody's gonna know. Like the whole TikTok thing. I know some of you guys are a little nervous with TikTok, but how many of you all are on it? I love it. I can get lost in TikTok. It's like a love-hate relationship. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna get right here. And then we'll go to a smaller brush. Okay. I think I'm just gonna use the liner brush. When we get to the spider, I may bump up just a little bit. Just because we're gonna be doing this spider web real quick. The only thing, like I said, with the liner brush is you do have to constantly kind of come back with paint. It doesn't hold paint very well because there's not that many bristles. All right. You have 0 followers on TikTok? We'll get you there. We'll get you some. What you need to do is start going over to other people's pages and liking and following them and commenting, and they will return the favor. I promise. It seems like they wouldn't, but they really do. Kind of I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine situation, but it really does work. All right. Now when I do my spider webs, even though I have this drawn on there, I like to do the long part of the spider web first and then connect. Because sometimes you can just get a little bit off and it makes it work a little bit better. Okay, one more, or 2 more. Lines out, and then we can start connecting in. All right. Brush is just getting a little bit clunky. Thank you, Ginger. Have a good night, hon. All right, so now to connect them, we're just gonna make little arches and connect over. And I pulled just a little bit of purple when I did that one, so just wanted to fix that a little bit. All right. See what I mean? My hand would have been all over in that snow. So that is another thing. A lot of people have asked me questions. How do I know what paint color to go with first? Sometimes I just kind of dig in. Other times you kind of look at, okay, well, if I should have probably painted the green first because then I could have put the purple. But those are those kind of things to look at when you're painting, of which one is going to need less of, and kind of go step by step that way. Hey, Case, how are you, hon? I have no idea what just fell. Okay. So now we're going to get the little spider himself, and I did load my brush a little excessive with the paint to do this part. And then when we come back in, I know it kind of looks like a little blob right now, but when we come back in with the detailing and more of the detail lining and outlining and shading, we'll be able to see a lot more of what's going on there. All right, let's get this jack-o'-lantern to have a face on him. Filling right here, there we go. Okay. Not liking the angle I'm getting on this guy's eye. There we go. More tests scheduled for Wednesday. You went riding? Oh, how fun. But yes, that does dry you out. Laundry? Oh, that's enough to just do you in. I hate laundry. I think that's like the household chore that I hate the very most. That and maybe dishes. All right. Okay, I am going to let this sit for just a second before we do more of the outlining, and let's go ahead and get this snow glitter going. Okay, so when I create my frosting, I use the Annalise glitter snow. You can get it without glitter, but you all know me. I gotta have the glitter. I'm gonna just grab a bottom of a paintbrush here. Let's put this in a cute little container. Now these containers, you guys, I got at the dollar store. They're like little travel containers. They are amazing for storing things. Glitter, all of that kind of jazz. Okay. Ouch. I'm already trying to put the wrong lid on there. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the pansy purple here. Oh yeah. So I kind of just throw a little bit in at a time. I'm going to grab just a smaller brush here. We're going to just kind of keep mixing here. I'm going to need a little bit more than this. All right, let's throw that there. Okay. So just mixing this around. So we kind of want like a nice creamy, woo, looking color. That did not get on it. Okay, good. But I was gonna mix this ahead of time, but I kind of wanted you guys to see how I do it. All right, so I love this snow for all things. It is weather resistant and everything else. It will not yellow when you throw stuff on it, or the clear sealant, you don't have to. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw what I have on here onto the sign. Okay, let me get another brush. Now, I use my glitter brushes because this is like glue, so it kind of will beat up your brushes. But we're just going to kind of first just pat this on. Get a decent consistency here. And then we can start making it look more like frosting. So I kind of just try and work inside the lines a little bit. I will do my detail line over it just a little bit to kind of clean it up. But this is how I do that frosting look. Isn't that fun? So we just use that same color paint. Yes, it lightened it up a little bit, but I think that's why it looks fun with the undertone of the dark, because it gives that dimension. All right, so now that I kind of got it all nice and covered out, what I'll come in and do is just lightly make little swirls with our frosting slash glitter snow. And how cute does that look? Isn't that fun? Hey Susie, how are you, hon? Okay, I'm gonna throw that in there. Now, one thing when you are using this snow stuff, make sure that you seal it up when you are done, because it will dry out. And I'm putting the wrong lid on again. You guys like that? Isn't that cool? It's my favorite thing. Okay, let me throw that over there. Ooh, I'm looking at it on the screen and I'm loving it. Okay, so when it dries, you can see a little bit more of the glitter. Right now it's a little bit hard when it's wet, but it does start showing glitter a little bit more. We could throw just a little bit of some glitter on here as well. So I just did a little pinch and then just kind of pinching it and rubbing it in between my fingers. And then because it's nice and sticky, you can see that it kind of gives that more of a look. And I did that with the purple. So I actually mixed in the darker purple and that lighter purple together. Let me grab the glitter. I mixed these two together in that canister, and it kind of just gave it a nice in between with glitter. So if you're not liking both colors and you're kind of wanting it in between, mix your glitter just a little bit. It really does make things pop. Okay, so now one more thing I'm gonna do before we do the full outlining is I'm gonna do just some little cupcake liner creases. And I'm gonna use that liner brush again for that. Okay. So I'm just gonna kind of go one right there, do one right there. Okay. And that I used the Rain Gray for. I'm actually going to use this just one more little spot here, just to make our little spider's legs pop out just a little bit more, since they're kind of getting lost in his little spider web. I'm gonna do a little zigzag there. There we go. Kind of lets them pop out just a little bit. Okay. So like I said, I usually, when I do my outlining, I grab a little bit of my black and I like to get it watered down just a little bit. It makes it a little bit easier when you're outlining because it makes it kind of smooth. There's less drag that happens with it, but whenever you water down paint, it also makes it so that it's not as vibrant. So sometimes you need more coats. So really only do this when you're doing the outlining because it doesn't matter as much, okay? All right, so with that being said, I'm just going to clean up our cupcake here. This is really cute. Good, Johnny. I'm glad you love it. I am going to just kind of go over these stars just a little bit. Oop, got a little too much paint there. Getting these stars just a little bit. All right. There we go. Hold on, my brush is separating just a little bit there. There we go. So like I said, when you're outlining, you will, and with the liner brush, pretty much after you do one little section, you're always going to want to come back and grab more paint. There. Trying not to get my hand caught in this puff paint, or this snow paint is a little difficult. All right. Whoops, I got a little bit right here. Probably from my hand. All right. Okay. So now we've got the black done. I'm just gonna throw a little bit of the white highlight and we will call it good. Normally I always finish with glitter and I did it kind of in the middle. Every now and then I can surprise you guys, right? I'm just gonna throw a little bit with that gray there. And then when I'm doing my highlights, I just barely let my paintbrush touch. It's okay if it doesn't get all the spots. Giving a little light flick. Oops, I missed a star with the outlining here. I just saw that. Just grabbing a little bit on the spider web so it just picks up a little bit of light. All right. Then right here, I'm just going to do just a little bit of highlight. And on our little pumpkin. All right. There we go. I'm sorry, I just realized I was like half off the screen there. Let me hurry and get this star before I forget. And then I will flip it up and we can all see. You guys love it? So glad. I don't know how I missed this little star here, but all right, I think we got everything else. Yep. Okay. Let me flip screens here. All right, gotta be a little bit careful because like I said, that puff paint's still a little wet, or the snow paint's a little bit wet, but ain't that cute? Kind of see the metallic, all the fun little glitter and everything. Thank you guys. I'm glad you guys love it. Remember that the template I've included above in the comments. Yes, thank you guys. I had fun painting this one. Now I'm like craving cake. Did I make you guys crave a treat? All right, you guys. You have a wonderful night, and I will talk to you all later. Oh, actually, I will see you tomorrow because we have cricket class tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So I will see you all then. Bye, guys.